Goa's economy was predominantly cultural. Life of an average Goan revolved around sheta and butter, the fields. Sheet kodi, which is boiled rice and curry, is every Goan's staple meal. Lush green fields, areca nut plantations, mango, cashew, and jackfruit mangroves add to the beauty of this green land. Our next speaker, Mr. Miguel Braganza, a horticulturist, will be discussing on the topic agricultural biodiversity in Goa. Mr. Miguel Braganza has done his master's in horticulture. He worked with the Goa Directorate of Agriculture and helped to initiate improvement of cashew yields through intercultivation of grafting in cashew and also step up Goa's first mushroom seed production unit. He has worked at Goa University and has set up its first glass house. Currently, he is the Vice President of Asia of Intercontinental Network of Organic Farmers' Organization. He is the Secretary of the Botanical Society of Goa, Joint Secretary of Goa Bachao Abhiyan, and the Western Ghats Konkan Foundation, Secretary of Brito's Old Boys Association, besides being the farm manager for Srinivas Dempo. He is a writer, author, editor, and columnist on things related to plants. I request Ms. Vidya to please present a bouquet of flowers to Mr. Miguel Braganza.
Thank you, ma'am, for the nice introduction. Now, I would like this to be an interaction, not just a presentation, so that we know what is there in Goa and what we can do. And for that reason, I'm not allowing the lectern to come between me and you. I'm coming down here. Those of you who have come from other countries have been in Goa for a few days and have gone round. And I would like to ask you all, what trees did you see that impressed you? I'm not asking you for scientific names, I'm not asking you for varieties, but just what trees you saw which impressed you here. Cashew is one thing. Any other tree? Nutmeg is what impressed you, good. Coconut. Any other? Chiku. Yes. And? Sorry? Mango, yeah. Thank you. Any others? Bitter leaf. Any other that you can think of among the trees? Cashew tree? Yeah. Pepper tree. Pepper creeper, yes. Banana. That's good. So you have been around and you have seen lots of different plants, and different plants have impressed different people. You have seen pepper, and pepper is the plant that made the navigators go around the world. Whether it was Columbus or Magellan, or whether it was Vasco da Gama who came to Goa finally. Most people say he came to Calicut and stopped. He did trade up to Anjadev Island, which is just south of Goa, outside Karwar. And that actually is the story of the colonization of Asia for the first time by the Portuguese in 1510. So pepper is that small creeper with betel-nut-like leaves, with betel-like leaves, with small grain. They're the size slightly bigger than sand, but they made the world come in search of India through sea routes, build a Suez Canal, and everything from this one plant. There was a time when pepper was valued more than gold in Europe. It was pricey to have. Now you can get for 370 rupees, you can get a kilo of pepper. Gold is in many thousands. But at one time, pepper sold at a higher price than gold. It was the thing to have. Like maybe diamonds now, De Beers diamonds you have, it's the thing to have if you're rich. To show off your class, you had pepper then as you have diamonds now. So this is one plant that is there, part of our diversity. You have seen nutmeg. Nutmeg has been in Goa for a long time. It's part of our Kulagar system. But nutmeg comes from different place altogether. It comes from the Moluccas, near Malaysia and Indonesia. So we have lots of plants that have come in, and I'm happy you have seen some. I'll be talking to you about a few plants that we have here. Can you hear things? Mango is what you have spoken about. Mango is something that we are working on to become a major crop in Goa. It is already a major crop in neighboring Sindhudurg district of Maharashtra. The Alfonso mango goes all over the world. And there is another mango which goes all over the world from Goa, Mankurad, but internationally known as Alfonso. It's not Alfonso, but it goes in Alfonso packs because in Europe and America, no one knows there is Malkurad mango. And if there is anybody in Goa who doesn't know Malkurad mango, he must be nuts. Okay? So you have a contrast. In Goa, Malkurad is the mango. Internationally, it's not known. So we are working towards popularizing that particular mango variety. And in that, we have a new variant named after Dr. Anton Baptiste Cardoz, known earlier as Cardoz Mankurad, now known only as Cardoz. My neighbor in Mapsa, first variety of mango registered in the name of a person other than a scientist. Cardoz variety is named after Armand Baptiste Cardoz, worked by his son Faust. And that is a story, first variety registered under the Registration of Farmers Varieties Act, which was amended to allow for private certification of tree crops. Earlier it was only for cereals, and that is a variety. And that is something that we are looking at converting into rupees. This, by the way, is the new sign for rupees that we use. Next one, please. Areca nut is a tree which you will see in any place that we call as a kulagar. Anyone familiar with the word kulagar? Yes, please. So can we have what is a kulagar? Large numbers. Yes. So in a kulagar, you'll find areca nut or the betel nut as the main palm or the main tree. You'll find coconut in that. Yes, please. Betel nut, what happened? It does have health benefits. We'll talk about them. The kulagar is a place where you have areca nut. It's areca catechu. You have coconut. You have mango. You have cashew. You have pineapple. You have pepper vines growing on the areca nut. You have pineapple below. You will have the betel leaf. The betel leaf and the pepper, by the way, are very closely related plants of the same genus, piper. And you will have also with it elephant's foot yam, what we call suran over here, one of the biggest yams in town. And you will have different kinds of vegetables being grown in that area. It is a multi-level, multi-species biodiversity hotspot by itself. Normally on the eastern slopes of the hills so that it does not get the setting sun. The setting sun cracks the stem of the areca nut. So if there is a western slope where you get the setting sun, or the southwestern slope still more, where you get the setting sun in winter, that area is protected by putting other trees like cashew or mango. So you don't get the direct sunlight onto the areca. And the lady had asked if there are any health benefits. People normally chew areca pieces along with their pan, which has a little bit of lime to it. The lime has calcium, which strengthens the teeth, and the acacia catechude has in it lots of alkaloids which strengthen the gums. You eat one pan a day, it keeps your teeth healthy. It keeps your gums healthy. But the same principle that we have in nutrition of plants, just because a little is good, a lot is not always better, applies here. You see people chewing pan whole day long, they have pitted teeth, they have completely corroded gums, and quite often get oral cancer. So the abuse is bad, use is good. And to find that difference is what God has given us wisdom for, quite often not used. Next one, please. Coconut is a major crop. Whether you are using the wood for making rafters or for making a U-shaped half-round pipes for irrigation, for making bridges across small rivulets, for thatching your house, for using the coconut pith as coir pith, as coir for mattresses, as pith for growing plants, using the coconut shell for artifacts, or just burning it and making charcoal, activated charcoal from there. Many uses for the coconut, including the tender coconut we drink. The first aseptically packed juice or liquid that you could get. Now you have Tetra Paks, but God made coconut first. Okay? Next one, please. Cashew. Cashew is a crop that came from Brazil, possibly via Angola or Mozambique, by ship. No mention of it by Garcia de Horta, so up till 1720 it was not around, well known. Beyond that, very well known. Today we have two things from cashew nut in Goa. One is, it's the only exported surplus in agricultural production that we have. The cashew nut goes abroad. The other item is we have a GI, a geographical indication on cashew feni. You can't make a drink anywhere in the world and call it feni without having to pay a hefty fine, because we have geographical indications, GI for short, for cashew feni. Not our plant, but our product. And it is only for Goa. Just like tequila is for Guadalajara province of Mexico, not the whole of Mexico. Cashew feni is only for Goa. If you do it in neighboring Maharashtra or Karnataka, it's not feni. You can call it cashew alcohol, you can call it anything you want, but you can't call it feni. That is our GI, and it is our pride. This particular crop that you see, the apples are red. It's of the Vengula 4 variety. It's the variety that I helped to introduce into Goa to increase production, and it is having one big benefit of giving the crop in February, March, instead of April, May. So the first to rack, the first cashew nuts of the season, the first feni comes from Vengula 4. That's an advantage. At the same time, we have to preserve the seedling progeny, because if everything is Vengula 4, and Vengula 4 gets one type of insect or one type of disease, everything will be wiped out. We can't afford that. So although we have introduced same principle, just because a little is good, a lot is not always better. So we have to be careful in how we propagate and how we grow it up. No, it applies only to cashew feni as of now. Because there was an argument, if you extend it to coconut feni, then somebody may say, I'm making chiku feni, and then you don't have a GI. So GI has got stuck only for cashew. We have to find ways of doing it without losing the GI. And many people claim that they are responsible for getting the GI for cashew feni. They say success has 1,000 fathers, failure dies an orphan. The person who should take credit for the GI for cashew feni is Mr. J.K. Daddu, who was then the Development Commissioner of Goa, who created a team in which all of us were there, whether it was Maria Lourdes Bravo Costa y Rodriguez, or whether it was Nanda Kumar Kamath, or whether it was Dr. Varde, or Mr. Tendulkar, or me, or ICR Director that time, Korikan Timat, or Mac Vaz, or Gurudat Bhakta. All of us were there in a committee headed by him, and he used to kick us on our bottoms if we didn't deliver on targets every month of what information we were supposed to give. So the GI rightly belongs to the hard work done by a Babu, by a bureaucrat, J.K. Daddu. So we have a GI and we have to look for more GIs, and one of them we are looking for is in Kokam, the Bindnachasol, which a microbiologist who retired from a pesticide company, Mr. Dr. Carmo, John Carmo Rodriguez from Shishini, has developed the method for producing a very good Kokam wine. Whether you like it sec or demi-sec or sweet, he has the formula to make it. A paper has been presented internationally, and it is a thing I'll talk about when we come down further. Pepper, as I told you, is a plant. It's a creeper, basically, that grows on another plant. Whether it's a mango tree or a cashew tree or areca nut or coconut, it grows on another plant and gives you pepper. In 1986, in Calicut, they discovered a method by which they can make a fruiting shoot of pepper to get roots. It doesn't normally get roots. Only the vertically upward growing ones get roots, and the horizontal growing on the ground get roots. They found how to treat it and get it to root. And now you can have pepper plants in a pot, how you have ferns or gladioli or anything in a pot. And it will give you up to half a kilo of pepper in one pot. One condition, because pepper is a very peculiar plant. It's not pollinated by wind, it's not pollinated by insects, it's not pollinated by any other means that you are normally familiar with. It's pollinated by water. So either you got to sprinkle water on top with a rose cane or with a sprinkler, or keep it out in the rain. Otherwise, it does not get pollinated. So if you water the pot, when it's in flower, you will not get any berries. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind if you're growing it in a pot, that you have to pour water from the top when it has the berries coming out. Many people ask, what's the difference between black pepper and white pepper? Does anyone know? What's the difference between black and white pepper? Not Michael Jackson, that it doesn't matter whether it's black or white, but it does matter, especially if you're making mayonnaise, you don't want black pepper powder into it, you want white pepper. Anyone knows the difference, how you make the two? Other way around, actually. The black pepper is the green pepper you take out in the month of January, February. Put it into boiling water for 1 minute, take it out and dry. You get black pepper. You take it out, directly dry it without putting in hot water, you'll get it slightly gray, still called black pepper. If it ripens, you are delayed, you are out of station on a holiday or something, it ripens to red color. Normally in Goa, you throw it out. Well, it's red, it's no use. But if you put it into a bag or a sack, put in water, soak it for 2 days, take it out, trample over it, or crush it like you need flour. The red comes off, and the inside is white. You dry that, you get white pepper. The difference in the market is 370 rupees a kilo for black pepper, 460 rupees for white pepper. So the loss in weight that you get is compensated by additional amount that you get. And white pepper is the thing that you want to use in your tossed salad or in your mayonnaise or anything. And that is something that we can do, almost wealth out of waste for people in Goa who don't know how to make white pepper. But the important part is what I had on the farm was a problem when I put it to soak. After every 4 or 5 hours, someone would lift it out and say, no, it will get completely wasted with the water flowing, the taste will go, nothing happens. Keep it in water for 48 hours, then only it will peel very easily. Next one, please. You don't need a doctor, you just need a glass of kokum juice. Every day you have it. Traditionally in Goa and the rest of the Konkan, with your food, if it is with fish curry rice, If there is fish in it, salt curry is part of it. All the old people knew about it, that salt curry is good. Why it is good, they did not know. Only Dr. Lowenstein told us now, 1976. Till that time we were drinking it, but we knew it was good, but not why. Knowing why in science is known as validation. That's something that we look at in organic agriculture also. The other thing it does is, it interferes with lipogenesis, the creation of fat. You eat sugar, you have glucose, and your body gets fat, like me, no? You get a paunch, you get flab on the thighs, you get flab on the arms. Because we like good food, and we get flab. Have kokum juice, no flab. Now some people don't like kokum juice, especially if it's agar, it's salty, no, they don't like. You can have kokum syrup. Then some people say, I am also diabetic, so syrup is not good for me. So Dr. John Carmo took up the challenge. He said, I'll make the wine. And he's made it. And I presented his paper last year in Korea. And internationally it has been acclaimed because I also smuggled 2 bottles of kokum wine there. Everyone who tasted it said, this is good wine. Of course, when you're taking it for the European taste, they're used to the grape wine. They don't want sweet wine. They want demi-sec or they want sec. I took it accordingly. In Goa, if you give people demi-sec or sec, they say, kodua. They want it sweet. So according to the palate, you can have, but you can lead a very healthy life drinking kokum juice. Yes, please. Kokum wine you can buy with Dr. John Carmo in Shinshini. It's close by here. He stays very close, not yet in the stores. We are trying to get it onto mass production, and Sachin Rane of Naturola in Nasik has offered to do it for us. Right now he markets already kokum soda, which is very popular. Kokum syrup is available, Amrit Kokum, both from Sumit Bobe's father, as well as from many others, Patrick Gomes, Patsons, then you have Raj, and you have many other brands. Syrup, agar is available in plenty. Wine, not yet in plenty. So those who would like to